Well,
I can't believe, Amy, you're in the studio with Marty. That's so awesome.
I know. We're neighbors, pretty much. We're not that far.
she brought me a gift too.
I brought him beer.
What'd you get?
Beer?
It's a Christmas beer.
With peppermint.
Yep.
I'll have good breath now.
And it's local. It's made in Chattanooga. So it's
I'll try when I come down and see you.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
I'm bummed you didn't make it.
I know.
Well, there's this thing with the border.
Yeah. That daggum thing.
I don't abide by those rules.
I'm Canadian. They will let me in.
Amanda,
Back out.
we have canceled my brother's wedding. Like, we have moved my brother's wedding now for the third time because our Canadian family can't make it down.
Oh.
I'm like, y'all,
Maybe you guys can make it here. Maybe you should just have the wedding here.
I don't mind getting stuck up there at all.
I got you covered. You're good.
Awesome.
All right, so I want to talk recipes today. Talk about some hunts from the field to the table. We'll kind of walk through a little bit of that, but mainly I want to focus on good, tasty recipes that people can make, whip up for football parties and dinners, whatever.
I have a cookbook that's in the kitchen. That
Go get it.
Go get it. I brought mine, Amanda.
She's got hers. Jonathan, you know yours right off the top of your head, don't you?
Oh, yeah. We cook wild game several times a week.
We do too. We actually, my daughter, did you see this? My daughter got her first deer last Saturday. So proud. She shouldered that 243 and shot over her left shoulder and dropped it. And I was impressed. I was very proud of her. But we've got 6 deer in the freezer this year.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
My boy with a 243, and I never did growing up, but I didn't know that they would just drop deer like they do.
It's
What
amazing.
they're made for, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's it,
This is good talk. Let's talk about all this on the show. I like this talk. Let's record this. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
You ready? You ready?
I got my book.
All right, lead heads. We are back with another episode of the Talking Lead podcast. This is probably right at kicking off our New Year episode. We'll call this our New Year episode.
Yes, 2021.
2021. We got that nasty 2020 behind us.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I don't know. Are you ready? Look what we've got to look forward to.
I am an optimistic person at heart.
You gotta be, right?
I'm looking forward to it.
Gotta stay optimistic.
Yeah.
Definitely. So some of you may have seen the post that I posted, and I probably didn't give it enough time, but we're going to be talking wild game recipes today. And I've brought in the expert chefs of wild game. We've even gone all the way to Canada to bring in one of our experts. Yeah. So the voice you just heard joining me in studio.
Yes.
COVID be damned.
No masks.
We're killing it with alcohol.
That's right.
She brought me some nice beer.
I did.
Naked River. I can't read that. I'm so blind.
It's Yule, Yule, Y-U-L-E, shoot your eye out.
You'll shoot, like the movie.
It's from the movie.
From A Christmas Story,
yes,
right?
it's a spiced winter warmer. So it's perfect.
And it's got a little peppermint.
Mm-hmm. A little spice and peppermint to it. It's really good.
So you were conscious about my breath. I appreciate that.
Yeah, if we were going to be close.
But no stranger to the show, we have Amy Hall.
Hello, Leadheads.
Welcome back, Amy.
Thank you.
Glad to have you, and really glad to have you in studio. I've not had anybody in studio for months. It's been crazy. We've been doing everything through Skype. Her Wild Outdoors. Mm-hmm. Amazing podcast. I know all you lead heads are listening to that nowadays. If you're new to the show, make sure you go check her out over at Her Wild Outdoors, and you're on all the podcasting apps.
Yep, it's true. Very true.
And then also joining us from Canada, this is like your third time on? Fourth time?
I think so. 3rd or 4th time.
Yeah.
I don't know. A couple at SHOT Show and then a couple on Skype.
Representing the Leadhead Brigade up there in Canada, we've got our good buddy Amanda Lynn Mayhew. She is That Hunting Girl. Just Hunt. Have you started something else? There's a new one?
What are you saying? No, but I have
busy.
a brand new clothing line coming out for this year. So, like,
Very
brand
nice.
new collection coming out. So that's the only thing that I'm working on that's new.
Okay. Very good. And then, Jonathan, is this your first time on or second time? I think you might have been on at like SHOT Show or NRA or something.
It's the third time.
Is your third time? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Yeah.
you haven't ever done like our real show though, right? You just done the convention show?
No, I did one in your office. We did one at NRA. I might have sat in with some stuff at SHOT Show.
Okay.
So 3 or 4.
Jonathan Hayes, formerly with, as you leadheads probably know, he was with an outdoor accessory company, we'll call it. I don't know if you want to name the company or not, but he has started I guess it's a movement is what you would call it. It's called Saved by the Wild. Talk about that a little bit.
So, growing up, I had 3 big brothers who were extremely wild and crazy, and that's back when the law was a little bit more lax than it is now.
Breaking the law.
Every day. And my parents got a divorce when I was 13, so it was just my brothers were raising me, which was probably not a good idea. My parents were still around, but, I just wanted to hang out with my brothers and kind of headed down the wrong road there at a very young age, and then got introduced to hunting just on a whim. Didn't even want to go. I remember walking into the woods on a field trip with a science teacher. She owned a farm, and I had on a pair of parachute pants and a Ozzy t-shirt.
I couldn't afford those.
And we were on a hayride, and I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know, she kind of singled me out, took me off the beaten path, and showed me some rubs and some scrapes. And it was during the rut. It was in November in Tennessee, and we jumped a buck, and he was running off, and I just thought, wow, that's the most amazing thing. These deer are talking to each other, via scrapes and rubs and dominant bucks and all of that, and it just really captivated my imagination. And then told my mom that I wanted a deer rifle. She bought me a little 30-30, which I still have, a little Marlin.
Nice.
Still hunt with it. That was 30 years ago or more. And I didn't have time. After that, I didn't have time for the other stuff. All my efforts were focused on that. My uncle was a hunter, and he built me a tree stand. We hunted by my granddad's house for several years, and and it just really changed the course of my life. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I know you hear that a lot, but it truly did. Without it, I just don't know if I would be sitting here today. So, I'm trying to get that message out there that, if you put your kids on that path, it's
Start
not a
them
guarantee.
early. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guarantee they're going to stay out of trouble, but it sure does help, because I know for a fact it helped me.
Yeah, and both of our other guests here have children, and they hunt as well. Amy was telling us off air that your daughter just got her first buck.
She got a doe.
She got a doe.
She
okay.
got a doe, which has been cleaned and is on the wall as we speak.
And how old is she?
She is 12, almost 13.
Wow.
But my son got his first last year at 9 years old.
I remember, we talked about that.
Yeah. And they both shot the same rifle, the 243, and it is, it surprised me that it's something that they can use. They both shouldered the gun in order to harvest their deer, but it still surprises me, Jonathan, we were talking, that it can pack such a punch. Both of their deer dropped in their tracks. It was just amazing.
Yeah, 243 is a good round.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I never hunted with one, but the low recoil and everything for the kids, it's a great round, and it's a 90 grain bullet, and they're dropping deer left and right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I honestly, if I could use it, I would use it. If I didn't have my 308 with me, I'd use it. I wouldn't hesitate.
Yeah, but that 308.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, sure it is.
308 is just it's just a good solid, it's going to go down round.
Yep.
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you, Amanda?
I used a bow
Yeah.
this year.
Oh, your kids.
My My kids, they didn't get anything this year. Brady's still out there trying. He's archery hunting. He's out there today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's our last day. And
you started your kids young too, though, right?
Oh God, yeah. My children are older. My children
Right.
are 29, 26, and 22. So they were hunting when they were 5, 6 years old. My youngest son shot his first bear when he was 12, and those kinds of things. So
Bear. Nice.
That's wild game right there.
No, seriously.
Talk about your links for Saved by the Wild, Jonathan,
So
where
it's
people
the
can go.
website. So it's called Deerliverance, kind of a play on words. Being delivered, kind of, saved by the Lord. This is, kind of saved by the wild. So kind of the tagline is saved by the wild. The main motto is the Deerliverance, kind of putting the two together. So there's a website, deerliverance.com. So it's just deerliverance.com, just hats and T-shirts, bumper stickers, that kind of thing. Kind of, keeping it low key for now. But just any way we can kind of spread the word to get the young ones out there, because they're the stewards of our sport, stewards of the land, and we got to make sure that
Stewards of our country.
make sure they're not only they're doing it right, but they have the desire to do it.
Yeah, of what's to come. So. So we're gonna talk recipes. We're gonna talk hunting, but before we do that, we got to thank the sponsors of the show. So make sure you go and show love to all the sponsors of the Talking Lead podcast. We just had a huge giveaway, over $10,000 in prizes.
Holy moly!
All right, and we had 5 winners, and I want to congratulate our 5 winners. I've sent out notices. And so far, only 2 have responded. So I'm going to give you a little bit more time to respond back. Otherwise, we're going to pick new winners.
You're giving some Christmas
Do I
grace.
qualify?
I'm giving Christmas. Everybody, yeah, you guys can. You can't enter now. It's over. So your name won't be in there. But Ed B, he won Prize Pack 1. Nicholas E won Prize Pack 2. And both of them have responded to me and verified. So they're good to go. We're still waiting on Prize Pack 3, which was Nick M. Prize Pack 4 was Gary W. And Prize Pack 5 was James F. So just to help, in case you're listening to this, James F. is in Alaska. Gary W. is in Texas. Nick M. is in Missouri. That's Missouri, right, Mo?
That's it. That's
okay.
Missouri, yes.
You fact check me on that. Okay.
I knew that.
And I have used the email addresses that you entered the contest with. So if those are jacked up emails, that's your own fault. But I'm going to give you a little bit more time. And if I don't hear from you after we release this show in a couple of days, then I'm gonna pick new winners. That's just how it works. We've got guns. There are guns in every package.
Holy moly!
We had firearms in every package.
What was in the those 3 packages that are still up for grabs?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm just going to run through this real quick, just to remind everybody what they missed out on.
You don't want to miss out on it.
You didn't want to miss out on this. So, Prize Pack 1.
Hold up. Sorry.
You let your little sweetie talk. We had a Buckmark 22 LR pistol with a Stealth Project 22 suppressor.
Whoa! And that has already been claimed.
That one's been claimed.
Okay.
Prize Pack 2 is a Glock 48 with a custom pancake holster and sights from Night Vision, custom night sights.
Very nice.
Prize Pack 3 is a Smith & Wesson M&P 9 from Primary Arms, and it's got a set of those night sights that come with it. Prize Pack 4 and 5 both had the Sky, SCCY.
Mm-hmm.
You familiar with that gun? Nice little concealed carry firearm. The CPX2 RD, it comes with a red dot.
Okay.
So both of those come with red dots. And then every Prize package had the following items in it. Geisley Everyday Carry Pistol Backpack, which they sent me one of those, and they're really nice. I'll show it to you.
I'm going to want to look at it.
It's really nice. Buck Knives put up their 112 Slim Pro. Crossbreed Holsters put up a nice holster, belt, and mag pouch little package. Glow Rhino. They make glow-in-the-dark like keychains and accessories and things. They put up a tritium pry bar and a keychain fob. So that was pretty cool. And then ASP USA had some nice, and I usually have my flashlight right here I could show you. That's not it. They're dual fuel flashlights. So those are like $100 flashlights. Really nice. Operator Coffee. I mean, who doesn't need coffee? Especially this time of year.
It's always good.
Yeah, they got everybody gets a bag of coffee from Operator Coffee. Mission First Tactical put up a slew of stuff. So you see this little tray right here? I'm showing you right here. You lead heads can't see it, but Mission First Tactical makes these nice little dump trays that you can throw your keys and chains and extra ammo, whatever you want to get rid of, with the Talking Lead logo. So they're giving away those. They're giving away a tactical wallet with the logo, pepper spray, and they have these cool drink, what do you call them?
The koozies?
No,
Tumbler?
like you take to the gym.
Tumbler. Water.
Tumbler, there you go, tumbler, that'll work. But they look like smoke grenades.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. So those were included. Obsidian Arms, they put up their 12-piece punch kit. So for you armorers, that's an awesome gift. I've got that, and those are my favorite punches. And they also put in an enhanced AR-15 bolt carrier pin kit, which I'm going to see that one over there. I'm going to update that one with that pin kit. Modern Spartan Systems put their starter kit, which has a sample of their oil, their grease, their copper destroyer, and their lens cleaner for your optics. And they also put up the TVT engine oil additive, which I use in the lead sled. You saw the lead sled when you pulled it up.
I did.
It's got like 325,000 miles on it. Still running great with that TVT engine oil additive.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
It kind of stands out a little bit. Ready Man Network, they put up the Wilderness Survival card and their Hostage Escape card, which I think I got one up here. Yeah. So they're like little, like credit card size accessories that you can like fishing hooks and arrowheads, and that you can just punch off this card, and they're all metal. And then they got one that's a hostage escape. It's like lock picks and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. That's pretty
cool. That's a nice little survival
right? Yeah.
thing to carry with you.
Yeah. Wilderness survival card. That's why they call it that. And then the compact bleeder kit. So a little first aid action there. Student of the Gun also put up a combat lifesaver kit and a pocket lifesaver original kit. And they put up one of their T-shirts. So you get a Student of the Gun T-shirt. Talking Lead put up a Talking Lead T-shirt and our patches, Leadhead Brigade patches, which is back there somewhere. There's a patch. You can see it. And let's see. And we even had cigars, Amanda. We gave away a 4-pack sampler of cigars. Can you believe that?
No. Can't believe that.
From Founders Cigar.
She doesn't believe it.
Yeah. And 1776 United put up a $25 gift card, so you can go there and you can buy more Talking Lead stuff, or you can get some 1776 United stuff. So 5 packages, 5 winners.
2 are
Happy
spoken
New
for.
Year, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Still waiting on 3 of you as of this recording, December the 30th. So maybe some of you other leadheads might have another shot at this that entered the contest. But no, Amanda, you can't win if you didn't enter the first time. I'm sorry.
But is it open to Canadian residents?
Probably not, because I don't think we can ship a lot of this stuff.
Mm-mm.
And that's
There
the
you
thing.
go.
If you're not eligible for the prizes, then you're not going to get them. So if you win and you can't legally own a firearm, you can't have a knife where you're at, you're not going to get that prize. But you can get the other stuff that you're allowed to have. We'll allow that. The other stuff just goes to me, and I'll split it with Jonathan and Amy. And sorry, Amanda.
Can I at least get the cigars? Just the cigars.
I think we could probably set that up. Definitely.
All right.
Yeah, those guys are pretty cool. Pretty cool cats. So make sure you go and show all those guys some love. Let them know how much you appreciate them putting this prize pack together. And for our regular listeners, if you listened to last episode, TLP 377, State of the Industry, or A Very Merry Richard Christmas, which was a funny episode, but also informational, we're giving away 1,000 rounds of ammunition from Red Army Standard. So you get your choice of 1,000 rounds of .223 or 9mm. And that was a gracious Christmas gift that Adam threw out there for you lead heads. So you go back to that episode. I'm not going to tell you here. You're going to have to go back to that episode, listen to it, find out what you have to do to be eligible to win those 1,000 rounds of ammunition, which that stuff's like gold these days. So you still got time for that giveaway. We'll be announcing the winners for that, picking the winners from that sometime after the new year. We haven't set a date on that yet, so you've still got time. Get in there and do what you got to do to win, Leadheads. We've got another giveaway coming up for the kickoff of the Talking Lead AK Corner Season 3, which is going to be January the 15th. We've got some Guardian targets. We've got some Seal 1 products. Those guys were on the show a couple episodes back. So we're putting together a prize package with them. And, of course, we have a whole lot more that we give away during the Talking Lead AK Corner series.
Very nice.
Coming back for Season 3. We're excited about that. And then Kel-Tec Weapons. Make sure you go show Kel-Tec Weapons some love. They've got a new, have you seen their new gun, Jonathan, that they've released? I don't think they've actually officially released it yet.
I have not. Tell me about it.
It's kind of secretive, but I think they've released a few photos. So we'll have links and stuff on Instagram coming up. But go show Kel-Tec some love. Let them know how much you appreciate them. Fiocchi Ammo. These times of ammo shortage.
It's real out there.
It is. They've been good to me. They sent me a little care package over there.
You got some good boxes in here.
You got some good boxes over there.
I saw a meme the other day of, the white vans that you don't get in, like the candy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was an ammo van that you need to stay away from, but it's really hard, that temptation.
Well, I think that's a good segue into our Talking Lead Jackwagon train and Leadhead Brigade heroes. So, Gunny, go ahead and bring that train in, and let's take care of some jackwagons.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the Talking Lead Jackwagon of the Week, so brace yourself, baby.
And you mentioned a van.
I mentioned
We're
a van.
in Nashville, and I think everybody in the world knows now.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big explosion. Was it Christmas Eve? That's when that happened?
Christmas morning.
Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Have you not heard about this, Amanda?
No.
Honestly, by that, I posted something about it on Christmas Day, and all over the United States, nobody was seeing it in the news.
Oh, wow.
Nobody. It was not top story. It was not, and, it was a big deal.
It's a really big deal. So,
I see one of my friends in the country music industry in Canada post something about Nashville, but it was just like a quick skim, and I was busy and distracted, so it might have been that's what he was talking about, but I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sure that's what it was. So there was an explosion in downtown Nashville Christmas morning, as Amy said, and it turns out after they'd done some investigation, there was an RV that was parked in an alleyway between two buildings. And one of these buildings housed AT&T's.
It was a hub
for their power signal or whatever. So a lot of people lost cell service, internet service. For a while, nobody was killed. Except except the supposed bomber. But it's still a big mystery as to what his motive was, actually what his target was, because in the van he had a warning system that said this van will explode in 15 minutes, and it had a countdown, and it would make an announcement ever so often. So, I mean, it's pretty clear that his intent was not to hurt anyone or kill anyone, except maybe law enforcement, because that's who's going to be coming in and be around that.
Yeah.
But that still hasn't been determined. And there were some people injured. I don't know how many the number is up to right now, but as far as deaths go, there haven't been any from the explosion other than the guy, any deaths.
But the amount of damage, I mean, that's Second Avenue, right? That's our history in this town. And a lot of those buildings, I was noticing a picture today, a lot of those buildings were built in the 1800s.
Oh, yeah.
And so the structure, the stability of those structures are different than how they're built now. They don't have the steel reinforcement behind the bricks. And so the worry is, I think they were saying it's going to be 8 months before anybody can actually get in there. And then when they get in there, there's going to have to be demolition. There's going to have to be all of this other stuff going on. And they're saying that in order to do that, there could be a ripple effect for some of the other buildings in that area. And
could be, yeah.
I think that they're lucky because I think the other article that I read said, Nashville City downtown is built on bedrock. And if it had been soil, then the damage would have extended further than what it was. But they've got so many.
Well, obviously that guy didn't know that, and that wasn't his plan. But,
no.
And again, we don't know what his motive was or what his plan was, but they're still investigating it. There's been some theories as to what. I heard one theory that's like where all the recount votes that were done were shipping to that building and were housed in that building.
I've heard that. And
then also, is it Christmas Eve? One of the voter buildings burnt down also.
I've heard that too.
Right?
There's a whole bunch of conspiracy going on right now with that.
You always get conspiracy with that.
Yeah.
Like this guy was already dead. He's a patsy, kind of thing.
It'll be interesting. I think that they've done a good job of not pushing it out there, crazy things that it could be this, that, or the other. But at the same time, no answers, really.
That, like, more of the conservative networks are covering it more than the non-conservative ones.
I agree.
What about you, Jonathan? You're here. What have you heard?
I'm hearing everything from disgruntled employee to, some conspiracy stuff, but nothing firm. And, I think we need to clarify too that just because no one was hurt, we don't want to downplay the size of the blast. So the damn thing just took pretty much the whole building. And
I think that's probably why it's not getting as much coverage as, say like a Oklahoma bombing or.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
it was huge deal.
And the police acted accordingly and didn't drag their feet and got on it, and he's immediately evacuating people. So hats off to the fine folks in blue for stepping up and putting lives on the line.
And that's a good segue too, because they are our heroes for this segment. Hey, somebody's jamming.
That time it was not me.
But yeah, definitely, whatever the motive, whoever's behind that bombing, jackwagons all the way through and through. They get a ride on and under the jackwagon train. And then our men and women in blue that responded, evacuated, got people out, and including themselves.
Yeah.
Very, very smart, level-headed. So they're our heroes, our Leadhead Brigade heroes. And they get a ride on Lead Force One.
Every single time I hear of something like this where the police officers are running into the danger, it it puts me on my knees.
But
I'm
can you imagine
grateful for them.
actually physically hearing a countdown?
Yeah.
You're like, shit, we've only got 3 minutes. You know?
Yeah.
And they're still right there. They're not leaving that area. They're not running away from it.
No, and there would have been deaths, right? If they had not done what they had done, there would have been deaths.
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I'm
Why
very...
didn't he get out of the van?
Hello?
What?
For sure.
Why didn't he get out of the van?
Well, it was a suicide mission or he was already dead. So we don't know.
Okay. All right.
That's just part of the conspiracy theory. I mean, we don't know. I think they said he had cancer also. I think he was diagnosed with cancer. One of his neighbors said that he had talked to him prior to this, like the day before or whatever, and he said, all of Nashville's going to know me. I'm going to be the most famous person in Nashville or something like that.
Yeah, I heard that too. Ugh.
And,
What's his name?
Well, that's what because he wants to be famous. I'm not going to say his name.
Mm-mm.
I'm not going to give him that satisfaction.
It doesn't deserve it, no.
Yeah, screw him.
Interesting.
So what about you guys? You got any jackwagons, heroes that you want to acknowledge, recognize?
I was thinking about that this morning coming into this, and I kind of was on the same lines that you were here, just with it being so local. It is. Well, and it affected us too, right? We weren't able to have communication out, and we weren't. 911 wasn't.
911 was down, but it didn't affect me. It was only people who were on AT&T.
Yeah.
And then Comcast stepped up. I mean, I got to give them kudos. They stepped up and offered free internet service for people who had AT&T.
Yeah, they really. I don't know. I think that our city has always been good about coming together and helping each other out. I know of neighbors who were saying, hey, you can come over and make phone calls and let people know that you're okay. I know that homes were opened up to those who live downtown. And so I guess I could throw that in for our heroes, just that neighbors were taking care of neighbors. And I appreciate that out of people.
Absolutely.
Jackwagons. I mean, I put a post out recently. We've had, and I know it's like this every year, but there was that gentleman who shot his son hunting a couple of weeks ago. And
I had heard about that.
It was up in, where was it?
I reposted that.
Did you repost
I grabbed it from yours?
It infuriated me because it's deemed a hunting accident.
Is it in Ohio?
In Ohio. It was deemed a hunting accident, and I hate that they call these accidents because, number one, he shot 15 minutes after shooting light was up in the woods, which you know is dark. We all know it is dark in the woods even after sunset. So 15 minutes after shooting light, nobody was wearing orange, and he shot at movement. He didn't even shoot knowing that it was a deer, and he killed his son. And I think there's tragedy, right? This guy is going to live for the rest of his life having known that he killed his own son, but these things are going to keep happening. You know that he did not, this wasn't the first time he shot after shooting light. Mm-hmm. This wasn't the first time that he ever went out without orange. This isn't the first time that he shot something not knowing if that was a deer or not. And so I just hate that there's not a whole lot of...
It doesn't matter whether you're wearing the orange or not. I mean, if you can't see what you're shooting, you don't shoot.
This was a
person walking doesn't look anything like a deer.
No. So I think this was preventable.
No form or fashion does that.
It was 100% preventable. Loss of life should never happen because of this, and it puts hunters in a bad light in this world. And I don't know if there will be any other repercussions. I honestly think that his hunting license should be taken away.
Oh, yes. If that was in Canada, everything would be gone. His license would be gone.
Right.
He forever, and he would be in jail.
Yeah. I don't deem it as an accident. I think that it wasn't intentional, right? There's
Sure.
a difference, but I don't deem it an accident. I think that there were choices made, multiple choices, multiple checkoffs that could have prevented this. And so
Is there any alcohol involved, did they say?
No.
No.
Not that they said. And so that was something that I thought of this morning as a jackwagon.
But
And
regardless, you should wear your orange.
Yes.
Still wear your orange.
Obey the hunting laws.
Yeah. Don't shoot after.
Shooting light.
Yeah.
My daughter and I were hunting a week and a half ago, and we were in the woods, and sunset hit, and it was all her. There were no other guns out there, just the rifle that she was shooting with. And at one point she said, "Mom, I don't think at this point of the night that I could make an ethical shot." And we packed up and left. And that is a simple decision to make.
So easy.
Yeah.
So easy. So
Yeah.
easy a 9-year-old can do it.
Right?
Is that how she was? 9?
12.
12. I was close. 19,
But
12.
still, it's a decision that a child can make,
Right.
and adults are responsible enough to make it themselves.
Yeah.
So there's my
Jackwagon.
jackwagon.
Jackwagon, and his name is Bradley Smith.
Mm-hmm.
We'll throw his name out there. He can be chastised. You can send him hate mail. But I'm sure he's
feeling it enough.
Pretty
But
bad,
I think
yeah.
that there should be. I think that it sets a precedent when there are no other repercussions other than the tragedy that happened.
right. Well, and this was in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you guys, Jonathan? You got any jackwagons?
Man, that guy's right up there for sure.
No doubt. I think we're all in agreement on him.
Just a low life guy set the bomb off. It, just affected so many people here, and
Yeah.
just senseless act of violence that, unfortunately couldn't be prevented. But, he gets my Jackwagon award for sure.
What about you, Amanda? You got any Canadian jackwagons up there that we need to call out?
No, just the same, Justin Trudeau.
Trudeau.
That's it. He's covered all bases.
Mm-hmm.
What's he done lately?
I have no idea. You know what? To be honest with you, I've been hunting for the last 3 months. I know nothing of what's going on anywhere.
Good for you.
I've not watched the news. I've not listened to the radio. I have been in the bush for 3 months, so I have no idea.
It's
Yeah.
the best place to be.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm kind of like you. That's where I've been too. So I didn't even know about the Nashville thing until
And
a
you
couple of
live
days
there.
after. Yeah, I know. I live here. I cut off all communication, and I was out in the woods.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've been just filming and hunting, and I have nothing for you.
So we had the ATF in the on the jackwagon train not too long ago. They've been going after pistol braces, our 80%, which is another made-up term. It's just going after pieces of metal that could be turned into firearms that aren't firearms. But we did get a victory. So my heroes are all of our 2A supporters and proponents that wrote into the ATF, flooded them with letters and emails and whatnot, that they rebucked their action that they were taking on the pistol braces. So they were in the process of redefining pistol braces and how they could be used and accessorized and blah, 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 blah. So they've dropped it for now. I guarantee you this is not over. It will come back up again, so we can't be caught off guard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know what's coming with the Biden and Harris administration. So, we got to gear up. We got to be proactive. We can't be reactive, and that's what we were on this. And luckily, our reactions paid off. But we have to be proactive from here on out. There's a good article, gunowners.org. You guys can go read an article about Victory ATF withdraws its pistol brace proposal.
I love it. I love hearing, I don't know, there's a sense of, the bigwigs getting hero status, right? But I love it when people get that.
Yeah.
It's
Well, us that's what it takes.
Yeah.
I mean, we are as a group larger than they are.
Oh, yeah.
And if we speak up, as a group, as one, then they'll cave every time.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. And then maybe Canada could take a lesson from that.
Oh, Canada.
So,
as Amanda shakes her head.
so I think that's a good one to get our Jack Wagon Train and Lead Force 1 out of here. And I'm really excited to talk about this. So we're going to talk wild game recipes. My mouth is watering.
Did you make anything while you guys are hanging out? Did you make anything?
No, I didn't bring any. I brought beer.
She brought beer. She was supposed to have brought me some of your ducks that you.
Oh, the duck poppers.
The
that
duck
we
poppers. Yeah, I didn't get those. But,
I'm sorry.
I've got nachos. You do nachos.
That is not wild game.
It is not.
Well, you could throw wild game.
You
on
could.
it.
I have.
Good.
There are a couple of recipes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Before we get to the table, I want to talk about the field.
Oh.
So I want to talk about your hunting experiences this year so
Oh
far.
my God. How long do we have?
Amanda has probably the most because she's got a TV show that she does all that. And you don't just, hunt four-legged creatures. You do fish and birds and everything. So talk about a couple of your most memorable ones this year so far.
This year, I shot what I thought was a 10-point buck in archery season, which turned out to be a 12-point buck with my bow.
Heck yeah.
That's a great surprise.
I was actually out with my son. I wanted him to harvest a deer, and I had driven him to this one camp 2 hours away and set him up pretty good, but he didn't have anything in close range. So unfortunately, I was the one to be able to harvest the deer and not him. So we split it up 3 ways, me, him, and his one friend that came with us. So we all got a little bit of meat in our freezer, so to speak. So that was a nice deer, nice harvest, lots of fun.
Yeah.
Who
got the rack?
I do.
Of course.
He's beautiful. He's beautiful. I just posted him on social media a couple days ago.
Oh.
And I harvested a 350-pound spring black bear in obviously the spring. Watched him for a few days and took him out. And oh my God, I've done so many things.
What about the wolf?
Oh yeah, we don't eat him though.
Well, I know you don't eat him, but I mean, you still harvest the fur and.
Yeah. So that was one of the last hunts that I did, and yes, so 110-pound wolf in Northern Ontario.
That's a big wolf.
It's huge.
It's a pretty big wolf. I mean, they get a lot bigger, but
listen at her. It is a pretty big wolf.
Okay.
Did you make the headband yet?
So the front or the lower part of his body is getting made into a hat, and his back legs are going to dangle down like a scarf, and then his tail, and then the front half of his body is going to be a soft sculptured mount, so almost like a stuffed animal.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is really cool. He's beautiful.
He is beautiful, yeah. And that was I harvested him on Friday the 13th. So, which is Amy, you should actually Google this. We talk a little bit about it in the show, but what Friday the 13th represents is powerful women, especially women. And the 13 is actually a representation of our periods. We have 13 periods in a year as a woman. So it's very interesting. I know you're scratching your You have to Google what the actual meaning of Friday the 13th is, because it's quite interesting. And the girl that I was hunting with had actually done that. And it's not something that I thought that she was going to come out and describe before we went hunting that day. So I always do like a wrap up and an interview and an intro to all of my days that I hunt. And when Jenny had come up and started talking about what Friday the 13th means and all the things that have to do with females, it was just a pretty cool.
That is really cool.
It is really cool. And
I didn't know that.
Her and I that were out there hunting on Friday the 13th by ourselves. We always do the wolf hunts. We're women. blah, 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 blah. So it was a really cool tie-in for the day.
That is.
So
that's really cool. I like that. Well, I've seen a couple of people that have taken coyote and made stew. So I didn't know if you could do that with wolf or.
Really good if you're real hungry.
Yeah, right. I don't.
Yeah.
I have a thing.
Wolf.
I have a thing about. I don't know. I haven't eaten a predator yet.
You've never had bear?
I've never had bear. I know we've talked about this,
always
Amanda.
talk about-
We have. But yeah, I've never eaten a predator before.
Oh, God.
I've had
It's
bear.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ask anybody in my house, and that's their favorite.
That's what I've heard. I have heard, and Amanda, maybe you can tell us this because this would kind of go along with our conversation. Is the meat better on a bear if you harvest it in the spring or the fall?
Well, it doesn't really matter, but when you harvest the bear in the fall, you're going to have more fat content.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more lean in the spring.
Right.
However, they're still marbling through the meat.
Okay.
Which tastes better, the fattier or the leaner?
It's all how you cook it. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I mean, if you shoot a 600-pound bear in October that's just like full of fat. My junior ambassador this year shot his first bear, and the fat on 450-pound bear, the fat on this thing was ridiculous. And I mean, if you're going to go make a burger out of that, then that's going to be a greasier burger than something spring, right? So.
Yeah. Well, and that's the difference between, like, with whitetail, you have to take all of the fat off because that's where that gamey, like on whitetail, it doesn't taste good. Fat doesn't taste good. You try to pull as much fat off of that as possible.
Right.
So
you want to mix it with other fat.
Yeah. You use beef fat or pig fat like you do, but with bear, it's different. And it's different with beef. It's different. Like, it works differently with all different kinds of animals, but with whitetail, you try to get as much off as possible. Yeah.
I've never had that problem.
She just eats it. Just fry it up and eat it. Now, with all that bear fat, I mean, the fatty, can you do something with the fat?
Yeah, you can do lots of things. You can make cream, so you can render it down and have hand cream for eczema. It's good for aging, anti-aging.
Really?
Yeah, you can cook with it. You can make bear broth with the bones. Like, you can use all the entire bear.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all kinds of things that you can
So
do with
anti-aging cream from bear fat. Is that one of your products?
No.
Not yet? Not yet.
No. I've cleaned so many bears this year that I don't have to use hand cream for probably another 5 months.
Jonathan, feel free to chime in anytime. Don't be intimidated by the ladies. Oh, you're off. You're muted. That's your problem.
No, I'm just listening to the bear fat stories.
Okay.
I've heard so many things about bear fat just from people using it for their baked things, for anything that you're cooking, you can use it.
Make candles.
Yeah.
There's what part of the bear is considered an aphrodisiac? There's like a black market for like a bear pancreas.
Oh yeah?
Am I talking crazy?
No.
I don't know.
But Google it. Like, there's a
I'm
select
gonna Google this. I'm gonna Google this.
Here.
It's
I got a computer right here. I'll do it.
It's like shark fins.
Yeah. So like in other countries, it's a thing in other countries.
Yeah, it's like
They're like China, and that they want the gallbladder.
The gallbladder.
Bull penises too. I mean,
Mhm.
that's a big aphrodisiac in China or Japan. One of those.
I think we give those to our dogs, right? Isn't that what are those
Chew toy.
called?
rawhide or chew toy or
Yeah. It's called something. I forgot what it's called.
The penis?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I didn't know that they put those in rawhides.
no, they don't put them in rawhide.
No, it's called
Conversation
something.
just went like,
Right? Right?
So Amanda, what about you also fish? What's talk about your most memorable fishing outing this year?
This year, I actually jumped on a charter in Lake Ontario and went out and caught my trio of salmon. So I caught my king, my coho, and my steelhead in one day.
All in one day.
All in one day.
Yes.
That's a successful day.
It was a very successful day. Yeah, it was lots of fun. Very successful, great weather.
No, I was very jealous seeing your post on your Instagram.
Did you see the size?
Yes, I did.
They're huge.
They were bigger than that wolf.
How many pounds do you get off of? Like, I'm sure you've got them in the freezer and everything like that.
So I smoke them. I don't cook them because I don't like cooked salmon. But that king salmon was, I think, 16 pounds. He wasn't very big, but he was big enough.
Yeah.
Like they pull some pretty big monsters out of that lake. So, and you get 10 pounds of meat easy off that. And I'm the only one that will eat the fish. So
really,
yeah, my husband can't eat cooked fish.
We went out and caught some hybrid bass, like big monster. I had a picture of it back in the summer, and it was, it was huge, but we ate off of that. Our family did. We smoked it, and we made fish tacos and a whole bunch of other things with it, but it was really good. But I like cooked fish, but it has to be done a certain way.
I love fish. Doesn't matter, raw, cooked, smoked, I don't care, but I don't really like cooked salmon.
Huh. Yeah, you like it smoked?
I like it smoked, yeah.
Tartar?
And the thing with that is when it's smoked, you can put it in your backpack and take it hunting. I actually just found a pack in my backpack the other day from like a month ago, and it's so good. I think.
I bet you find stuff all the time. It's like, oh, forgot about that. Didn't know I had that. Where'd that come from?
I find Sour Patch Kids in my backpack all the time. No.
It's your snackical tacticals.
I've lived on the road since September-ish. I drove all the way to BC and back this year by myself too, right? So I wasn't home for a long time.
We were talking. It's actually faster for Amanda to come to Nashville. It's a quicker trip to come to Nashville than to go to your hunting ground, right?
Go to my hometown, yeah.
Yeah.
11 hours to Amy's house or 13 hours to my hometown.
Yeah.
Another reason to curse 2020 because you were supposed to come down here.
Dadgummit.
I know, I was.
COVID. Damn it.
So it's okay. I have you guys written down for next year.
Good.
Jonathan, what about you?
Well, I don't, we were talking earlier, I don't hunt as much as I used to because I'm focusing on my boys. My 9-year-old shot his first buck this youth season.
I love that.
And then the weekend before that, my 12-year-old shot his 6th deer, shot a doe. So I'm always just, I don't pull trail cameras and do food plots like I used to. I just, try to get them out and engaged and every chance they get and work on their gun handling and their gun safety and, deer signs and just things like that. So not saying I don't still love it because I do, but.
And how old are your boys again?
9 and 12.
Mm-hmm.
But I did get to go on. We have a farm in Illinois that we take a trip up there every year, and we've got wild pheasant and quail.
I've never been on that kind of hunt.
It's pretty good stuff. We set aside 250 acres in government grass, CRP. And I'm telling anybody who's on the fence about putting some of their farm ground into government grass, do it.
Yeah.
Not only is it good, helps with soil erosion, but it's just phenomenal habitat. I mean, we had a few quail and a few pheasants here and there. Now they're everywhere, and not to mention the deer that we jump while we're hunting. And so we take a trip up there every year, and usually shoot our limit quail and pheasant, and then try to do some fishing in between. We're here in Nashville, so we get after the smallmouth pretty regularly. We bought a canoe this year, a big deal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where was my invitation?
Come anytime, buddy.
We're heading.
You got to let me know when you're going.
We're heading down in a couple weeks to Lake Gunnersville in northern Alabama. We're gonna go fishing.
That'd be fun.
That's a bass stop. Pro circuit. They stop there. Good fishing, good bass fishing there.
We got an invitation from a friend. We made a friend this year.
You made one friend
I
this year?
made one friend this year. We got invited to hunt a piece of property that doesn't get hunted a whole lot. And it's because it's so remote. You have to hike in. And there's a structure on the property, but it's at the top of this mountain. And there's no electricity, no water, no nothing. And so we were up there and met one of the hunters who's been hunting there for 20 years. And his hunting buddy passed away a couple of years ago, and he hasn't had a hunting buddy on the property. Had an accident 2 years ago falling out of a stand, not because he wasn't wearing a harness, but because the D-loop broke.
Oh, dang.
And it was a catastrophic, could have died incident. And so to have somebody up there right now with him is an excellent thing. But we got to meet him. And we got to hang out with him, and we have visited his house where he lives, and we've become great friends. He's in his later 60s, still climbs a climbing stand, and only bow hunts.
Well, 60's not that old. Come on.
No. I'm talking about after this accident.
Right,
like he has a rod. Hey, we're all over 40. Come on, it's closer than, but it is
way over 40.
But it's one of those situations where he had this major accident. He has had major surgery, and yet he still gets out there and does what he loves. But he invited us to go fishing.
You find a way to do the things you
really
doing,
do. You really do.
No matter what.
Yep. But he's become a really good friend.
Now, you've been doing some duck hunting. Right?
We did. That's a funny story.
Yeah.
We went duck hunting last week, and it was the first time I've ever hunted with my family. Ever.
The entire family.
The entire family. My stepdad was there, my brother, both of my brothers were there, my husband was there, and my son. And it was the first time we had ever all hunted together. And 4 ducks came in, and we shot all 4.
Did everybody get a shot, or
everybody got a shot? Everybody got a shot. I don't know if who shot what. It doesn't matter in duck hunting.
Everybody shot.
Yes.
4 ducks down.
So we got 4, and when we got back to the parking lot, a bunch of people who I guess hunt a whole lot didn't want to clean their ducks, and we took them for them.
Nice.
So we got about 26 ducks that day that we took home and cleaned and had for Christmas dinner.
So we've got ducks and deer and quail and bear and
goose.
And what was the fish that you?
Salmon.
Salmon. So we got a lot of recipes
we do.
for all this meat. So let's talk about that. So let's start with the fish, because I really like fish. Talk about some of the dishes that you prepare with your catches, Amanda.
Me, I'm pretty simple. If I'm catching walleye or perch or pike, I just pan fry it in butter and garlic. That's it. Nothing special.
You can't beat butter and garlic.
Nope.
That just you can cook everything in that.
Yep.
So very simple. You can do it anywhere, at camp, on the shore, at home. And for salmon, I actually put it in a brine with brown sugar, soy sauce, and I put it in the fridge for about 12 hours, take it out, pat it dry, and I put it on the Traeger for about 2.5 hours, and I wipe it with my homemade maple syrup.
Yum.
Homemade maple syrup.
Yeah, we can do that up here. We do that down there.
That's a whole...
That's a whole nother show.
That sounds amazing. My Canadian family sends down maple syrup, and it is different than anything you can get here.
Yeah, for sure.
I can send you bourbon maple syrup.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, you're speaking my language.
I mean, I don't see anybody saying no.
No, I'm saying yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's all I do with smoked salmon. It's pretty much the same recipe every time. It's just amazing. It's beautiful. It's brown. It's glazed with homemade maple syrup, and it's yeah.
Now I mentioned tartar earlier, and you turned up your nose completely.
No, I don't. I don't eat condiments on any of my food because if you do, it's
not tartar sauce. Tartar.
The raw.
Tartar is raw.
She would eat it.
Meat. You would eat it. You would eat the hell out of some salmon
I
tartar.
don't even know what that is.
Tuna tartar.
Tuna tartar is good. Yeah. When I was in Poland, they were big on tartar.
Did we not have that at sushi dinner at SHOT Show?
I think we did. Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tuna poke.
I probably ordered it.
It was really good. Yeah, we did the annual sushi,
SHOT Show
all you can eat sushi, which we started calling hide the sushi because they charge you for all the sushi you don't eat.
Oh no! Really?
Yeah. We had like $300 worth of sushi that we hadn't eaten, so we started this game. It's called hide the sushi.
So it's kind of like taking your movie purse to the movie theater.
Yes.
You take your sushi purse.
Except it's the opposite. Instead of smuggling stuff in, we're trying to smuggle stuff out.
Yeah.
Dumping it in the aquarium and the planters.
Well, you might have to try that this year. Amanda, look up a tartar recipe for your salmon and see if it tastes good.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah. One of the pictures I posted on the post asking for people for questions, and I'll check it in a minute and see if anybody gave us their recipes, but one of those was a tartar. So.
I charge you with that. You are being
She's challenged.
I'm challenging you.
I'm writing it down right now.
Jonathan, what do you really like to cook? What's your favorite wild game? How do you like to cook it?
For me, it's got to be venison backstraps.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something where, if you do it right, you can even turn the non-venison eaters onto it and make them fall in love with it. And basically, I treat it like steak, man. You hear a lot, at least in the South anyway, you hear a lot of, man, you got to soak that in Italian dressing for 2 days. And that's literally the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
You take it out and you prep it, you rub it in salt and pepper. Maybe a little Tony Chachere's Creole. Heat up an iron skillet, pretty much on high.
You ever use Cavender's?
I don't. I'm just by habit always get Tony Chachere's.
Try Cavender's. You'll really like it.
And just maybe a half of a backstrap will feed the family. And it's like a half a stick of butter, fresh garlic, which is key. You can't just throw garlic powder on it.
No. You have to have the real stuff.
Minced.
And then yep. And maybe a little thyme if that's your jam. And then you just sear it on both sides, if you like it rare. And that's it. The backstrap doesn't have a huge gamey taste to it.
Mm-mm.
And I bring it to Thanksgivings when there are Thanksgivings and, when there's not COVID.
There always are Thanksgivings.
Yes. Christmases and the some of the family members and friends who don't eat venison, that's the first thing they go to. And then and then when I'm done, I take the garlic butter and pour it over the top, and and it's just wonderful. And the same thing with the tenderloin. There's just not as much tenderloin,
Right.
Yeah.
So Amy, duck. You've got apparently a very amazing recipe for.
I have a great recipe for a goose Wellington.
Okay.
A goose Wellington that we can put the link on. I think that NWTF picked it up and put it on their page. There's a link on it. But it's just like, and we did that for Christmas with our venison backstrap. I had it actually labeled in the freezer. Do not touch. This is for Christmas.
Hands off.
Hands off. And I took two. I took one full backstrap for Christmas with my parents. And I love a Wellington. Wellingtons are my favorite.
Now, what is a Wellington for?
A Wellington is
uneducated people like me.
It's a mushroom.
Mushroom.
Like you don't like mushrooms?
No, I love mushrooms.
Okay.
No. Love mushrooms.
Like I don't know about this whole friendship here. It's a mushroom mixture with onion and garlic and butter. And again, you can't go wrong with garlic and butter. So you're mixing all of this together, and you have to cool things. So you're searing your backstrap and cooling it. You're making your mushrooms and cooling it. And then you're wrapping all of this up with Dijon mustard and prosciutto. And then all of that goes within a puff pastry. And it's exquisite, and it kind of is a rich flavor to it, but it's not as hard as people think that it is to make.
How do you make the puff pastry? Do you just buy it?
I buy it. I'm sure you can make it, but I don't have time for that.
There's Google for that.
Yeah.
They had that. I was wondering how to make
the puff pastry. It's in the freezer section at the grocery store.
Kroger.
Yeah.
Walmart.
But we made a duck for Christmas this year, and it
like a whole duck?
A whole duck. I plucked that thing. I cleaned it, everything, and I made sure that I salted inside and out and sat it in the fridge overnight to dry out. Because the problem that I've had with duck in the past is that it's very oily and greasy, and that's not my favorite. I'll do duck poppers all day long and not worry about it. But if I'm going to cook a whole duck, I don't want it to be greasy.
So the salt dries it out.
The salt dries it out. Sitting it in the fridge uncovered helps out. And it helps when we put it on the Traeger, and it makes the skin crispy. Nice. And since you're not cooking it in the oil that is coming off of it, it stays nice and
Are you doing any other
dry.
Flavors with that? Or?
What did I do? I didn't inject it. It was pink salt, garlic. There was a mixture that a neighbor friend of mine put together that has some garlic salt and brown sugar, and there was just a little bit that I put all over it, pepper, and then I just put it in it. I wanted it to be as true to the taste as possible. I don't like to mask that taste when I cook wild game. I want the good flavors to come out, but it turned out great. It tasted a little bit like roast beef, like a rare roast beef was how it came out, and we had some venison tenderloin on the side. And but I'll tell you, my go-to for people who have not eaten wild game before, especially venison, is a bacon-wrapped venison meatloaf.
Oh my gosh, you can't go wrong with bacon. You
No,
throw bacon in anything. It's just gonna
bacon's a love language in our house.
So you're using ground venison?
Yeah.
Mixed with some beef fat or pork fat?
We use beef fat. There's a place in Murfreesboro, a butcher in Murfreesboro. I forgot the name of it. And we get our beef fat from them. So whenever we process, I use half has beef fat in it and half is clean, completely clean, no fat in it.
Their head at all the mixing of the beef fat and the pork fat.
I know. Honestly, Amanda, the only reason that we mix it up is because it's so lean. To make a hamburger or to make a meatloaf, it doesn't stick. So you can add bacon as you're making a hamburger in order to get it to stick, but I would say 75% of our venison does not have fat in it.
Right.
So venison and moose and bear, get that out of here, but venison and moose right now, never mix. I never mix it. I straight up ground it just as it is.
Yeah. And
I can make the best hamburgers, meatballs, and meatloaf without having any fat in there. And the trick to that is just your ingredients to add into your mixture of what you're doing. I made like the best friggin' venison meatballs ever last week. And all I used was crackers, eggs, onions, the meat itself, keeping that meat cold. So putting that all together, back in the fridge, keeping it cold. And then the egg and the crackers glue itself together. Absolutely straight up venison.
So the egg is your binder, and we have an egg allergy in our household. So the egg is a no-go in our house.
Yeah.
Okay.
No-go eggo.
People that, mean, we have a shotgun group that we do our deer hunt with. When they process the deer, we have our butcher day on Saturday. Mm-hmm. They mix half and half, pig we get a pig, we cut up the pig, and we grind it with the deer.
Yeah.
But if it's my choice, my option, I don't mix.
I don't like it in it unless it's for certain things. But yeah, that whenever we do the bacon wrapped venison, I actually use the venison that doesn't have fat in it because you've got enough wrapping it in the bacon. Yeah.
And I'll say this too about the fat. My boys will eat bowls of plain venison, ground venison.
Mm-hmm.
Beef fat creates that grease when you're cooking it in a hot skillet.
Yeah.
So it's got some benefits. I mean, I get where Amanda's coming from, but
most people I've talked to, they mix some sort of additional fat with their venison.
They do.
But it does depend on what you're using.
Yeah.
You can ruin a deer.
Talk
by
about
using
that.
the
Talk
wrong-
about what should you not use to.
What
to
is
not
it? The
ruin
tallow?
I'm a big one when it comes to butchering. Do not use a bandsaw to cut any part of your meat because
No.
what you're going to do is drag the marrow from the bone right through
Yes.
all of your meat, and that's where you get your shitty gamey taste.
Yeah. Yep.
Hands down.
Good
Yeah.
point.
We butcher
Yep.
it. We hang and butcher it. We don't
I
cut.
always use your arm. I don't even see your face. I just
You just saw my arm go across the screen. No, we don't. I
Are
don't
you
really.
not on here?
I don't cut any bone when I'm.
No, but a lot of people do, and a lot of new hunters will do that. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to just butcher this myself," and they'll take the bandsaw and they'll just go for it.
No.
And then they'll go cook it, and it tastes like crap. Well, why does it taste like crap? Well, look what you just did.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Yeah.
wanted to get my buddy Daniel on here. He processes his own meat and everything. He had some good tips, but he couldn't make. He makes an amazing summer sausage.
We haven't attempted
Yeah.
that yet.
Yeah.
That's our next. I bought my husband a dehydrator this year for Christmas. So jerky is on. I mean, I feel like the present that I bought him is equally for me.
You're going to benefit just as much, right?
100%. So that's
if
first.
not more.
That's first on our list. But I've heard people will get, what is it called? You can get the wrong kind of fat. Is it taro fat?
for what? Like, what are you talking like?
So when I go to the butcher and I say, hey, I'd like some beef fat or pork fat for sausage or whatever, they will then ask me, well, do you want whole fat
Certain kind of fat.
or this other kind? And the other kind, I'll have to find it. The other kind is the kind that leaves the film on the top of your mouth.
Ew.
And it is
That's
disgusting.
nasty. You look that up, and while you're looking that up,
yeah,
I like chili,
Mm-hmm.
especially this time of year.
Oh yeah.
Venison chili, elk chili, whatever. I love chili.
Elk chili is by far just the best chili you can
Elk's
eat.
just hard to beat. I love elk.
I've never
yeah.
had elk either.
Oh, here we go. Bear chili.
Bear chili?
Step one, shoot a bear.
Make it every year first.
Find a
Make it
bear and
for our
shoot it.
discount group every year. So, yeah.
Step one, go to Amanda's house.
Yes.
We
I have
have,
lots of bear, man.
we have some bear here in East Tennessee. And some elk
Yep.
too.
Yep.
So here's a recipe that I want to try. I found this online. It's venison chili. And here's what you got to do. So you need 4 tablespoons unsalted butter. You need 1 red onion chopped. I'd probably make that 2 because I like onion. 4 cloves of garlic minced. I'd probably put a little extra of that in. 4 tablespoons dark brown sugar. 3 cups red wine. 4 tablespoons red wine vinegar. 4 tablespoons tomato paste. 4 cups low sodium chicken broth, which I don't know why you'd go low sodium. I mean, who cares?
Those of us who are getting older.
Make it up in another dish. Add that sodium. 1 teaspoon ground cumin, which I don't have cumin, so I wouldn't use that. Half teaspoon cayenne pepper. I would use that, definitely. Half teaspoon chili powder. 2 tablespoons chopped fresh cilantro. Put a little salt. 4 tablespoons canola oil. 10 slices of cooked bacon, which I would probably up that also, just a little bit. But you got to dice that up, mix it in. 2 pounds venison stew meat, trimmed and finely diced. And then 2 cups black beans, cooked and drained.
Sounds like they're a little light on the chili powder.
Agreed.
You a little bit more on the chili powder?
And that cumin, you're going to have to get some cumin. Cumin makes it.
I got to get cumin. I got to add that to my
Yeah,
it's like making sausage without sage. Got to have it.
Yep.
Yeah. 2 pounds of meat and only half a tablespoon of chili powder. No, that's
you need more than that.
I would put like 2 tablespoons of powder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any measuring devices when it comes to that kind of stuff.
You just shake. Yes.
I'm the same way.
Eyeball.
Just eyeball and taste. Eyeball and taste. Taste it as I go.
Something that I do with my venison chili is I will cook the meat and set it aside and cook the chili, because sometimes that meat can get a little soft and a little soggy. And then right at the very end, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes into pulling it out of the bowl or the cooking whatever, I'll dump the meat in there. And I also pour the grease in the pan in there.
Oh.
Added flavor.
We always add beer.
Garlic and yeah. Oh yeah.
We always add beer.
You add beer?
Mm-hmm.
What does the beer do? What is that?
The flavor
does the alcohol
of it
just help kind of bring everything together?
Probably not. It just tastes good.
It's just good.
Yeah.
Just beer's good.
If you marinate,
especially Naked River.
If you marinate tougher meat, so to speak, like if you marinate moose, I don't know, any kind of venison, moose, or whatever, like a tougher cut of the meat, if you marinate that in a bourbon or whiskey, it breaks it down and makes it more tender.
Makes it more tender, yeah. I think the alcohol is what does that, because I do that with pretty much anything that I'm going to grill. I marinate, and
it breaks it
it's
down.
It's at least
it makes
24 hours.
Yeah.
I try not to go less than, sometimes I go longer than that.
All of my marinades have an acidic side to it, whether it's I'll put white vinegar.
Kind of stuff?
I'll put white vinegar in it, or mustard. Something that has that vinegar in it, and that tenderizes as well if you don't have alcohol.
And I will say this about fish. If you have a chance to eat redfish, I know it's pretty much a southern or a coastal thing, you need to do it. It's literally the best fish you can ever eat.
Redfish?
Redfish. So we did a charter in Venice, Louisiana. Went out and caught a bunch of tuna, came back and did inshore and caught a bunch of redfish, some keepers. We took them home, and I'd never had it before. It's probably 4 years ago. And I had a fillet that we brought back, and I was like, well, I might as well cook it to see how it is. It's a drum, I think, and wasn't going to expect too much out of it. Just threw it in the oven with butter, salt, pepper, little lemon, pulled it out, and big, huge white flakes came off of it. Delicious.
Oh, yeah. I was looking up, he was asking about the bad fat. It's that tallow.
Tallow.
Like
I've
a
heard of
suet.
tallow.
It's like you're supposed to use, and this is, I'm just going off of the internet because the internet knows all, right?
The internet's always right.
So you're supposed to use one versus the other. And this doesn't explain it all, but y'all, one of them.
The tallow's the bad one?
One of them puts a film on the top of your mouth and one does not. And you do not want the one that puts the film on the mouth.
Makes your tongue stick.
We have processed all of our deer for the past 2 years ourselves. And it was because we went to a processor 2.5 years ago. And we got back, we had to throw out a whole deer.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
And I don't know what they put in it, but every single bit, whether we cooked it in chili, soup, spaghetti, whatever it was, it left a film on the top of our mouth. And it was one of those, you take one deer in that we ended up getting 110 pounds back of venison, and we should not have gotten 110 pounds back of venison. And it was probably mixed with who knows what. And at that point in time, we said, no, we're going to do this ourselves. Yeah.
Well, there's something to be said for processing your own meat.
Knowing exactly what touches it.
It's a skill.
You always wonder if you're getting your deer back sometimes.
Always, yeah.
So always.
Yep.
So this time of year, there's a lot of get-togethers, a lot of little parties, New Year's Eve, type things. People like to have finger foods, quick, easy, kind of treats. What's some of your favorite things to make like that? Like sliders, summer sausage, dips, maybe.
You can't go wrong with the dove breast wrapped in bacon.
Those poppers, it's true.
Gosh.
You really can't go wrong.
Those are so good.
German rouladen is good too.
What's that? Tell us.
So it's like here's a picture. I don't know if you can see it. You see it?
I see the picture. It doesn't do our listeners any good.
Pickle wrapped in moose meat.
It's a what? Say again.
Pickle wrapped in moose meat.
Pickle wrapped in moose meat.
This sounds like carnival food, and it sounds really good.
I'm so intrigued now. Yeah. Wait, I'm pulling my seat up.
Like a dill pickle or a gherkin, and then you shave moose meat or cut it very, shave it so it's thin, and then you wrap it up and you put it in the oven. It's amazing.
Wow.
So how do you prepare the moose meat? What do you do?
You have to
Season it how you want, wrap it around the pickle, and how long do you cook it?
Until it's done.
Oh my goodness, you want me to, okay, so.
Well, I don't know about the pickles. I've never baked a pickle before. So.
I don't think you have to worry about the pickle being.
It's not the pickle?
No, it's just the meat.
Because the pickle's going to keep the meat moist.
That's right.
This sounds really
I
good.
want this. I want this at my New Year's Eve party, Amanda.
I'm going to give you the rest. I'll send you the recipe. It's in my cookbook. I haven't made them for a while because my mom has it.
You find it, and we're going to tell the leadheads what it is. Because that's what we're doing. We're doing a recipe show.
Yeah.
This is a recipe show.
So you cut the pickle lengthwise.
Mm-hmm.
You dice onion and bacon very fine. You spread each piece of the meat with mustard. Fill one end with the onion, the pickle, and some diced bacon. You roll it up like you're wrapping a present. And then you melt butter and oil in a saucepan. And you brown the outside of it. And then you put it in the oven.
That sounds amazing.
You had me at bacon.
There's not much bacon in it, but there's that's my favorite. And then moose wrapped bites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just moose wrapped in bacon. And then the regular venison meatballs sweeped with...
Do you have your recipe for your venison balls?
I have to write that down because what I did last week is I took 3 different recipes and mixed them together. And so people have been asking me for the recipe because they were like the best meatballs ever.
Yeah.
That
so
sounds good.
I will write that down.
That sounds really good. We'll do the poppers like Jonathan said, but then we'll do queso with venison in it, and it's really good.
That's so good. So I like sliders. I found this recipe for venison loose meat party sliders, and they look so. Do those not look good?
Those look really good.
I think I'll make that the show post.
The venison sliders. Is that cheese melted on top?
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. So the ingredients: you need 2 pounds of 75-25 ground venison with bacon,
which
sold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sold on that. 1 large yellow onion diced. Seasoning of choice, and it says I use McCormick's Mesquite Grill Mates. I would probably use Cavender's. 1/2 cup barbecue sauce. I'm not big on barbecue sauce, but I'll play with them here. 15 slider buns.
Mm-hmm.
I would get those King's Hawaiian.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is there a better one?
No.
Okay. Sauce. I don't know what that. They just say sauce.
Oh, you forgot the provolone cheese.
Oh, I missed.
Smoked provolone cheese.
15 slices of smoked provolone cheese. So that's the cheese. You did see the cheese.
Yep.
And I like smoked. Smoked cheese, any kind, I love it. Smoked Swiss is my favorite, though.
It would go along with the smoked salmon.
Yes, it would. And then it says sauce, and I don't know what sauce is. 1 stick of butter, 1 clove of garlic, finely minced, 2 tablespoons Worcestershire sauce.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard word to say. Say Worcestershire, Amanda.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. 1 tablespoon brown sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Love brown sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to do another tablespoon of barbecue sauce. So they're really digging the barbecue sauce. I don't know why they do it twice here. They do a half cup up here.
Because one goes in the meat and one is a condiment.
Sauce is the ingredients for the sauce.
Oh.
That's what, so.
Okay. Never mind.
So I said, I don't know what, that's the sauce. 1 stick of butter, 1 clove garlic, Worcestershire, brown sugar. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I get them. And then they go into some cooking instructions here. And I'm not going to read all those, but you get the idea.
It's almost like, those ham sandwiches that you do. It's ham
My
and
aunt
Swiss.
makes those, yes.
And then you put the mustard and the onion and everything, and then you cook it in the oven.
Yeah,
That's kind
so
of
good.
like this is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love
It
it.
is so crazy how different your style of cooking is from our style of cooking in North America. But it blows my mind. No matter where I go in the States, the style of cooking is just so different from Canada.
Well, we have ovens here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
We cook in our igloos.
We don't cook on campfires. Yeah.
But we're different from, it's like, right, Jonathan, we're different from the South to California, to Oregon, to New York. It's all.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, I go visit Joe in Louisiana, and he's talking, like, I don't even know what he's talking about, and the plate's in front of me, and I don't even know what it is. And, I go to Florida, and it's cooked differently there, and, like, everywhere you go in the States is so.
Even in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah.
East, West Tennessee.
Yeah.
Middle
I
Tennessee.
was in Maine one time, and I went to a McDonald's and ordered a country ham and biscuit and a sweet tea, and it was like crickets.
Yeah. They have no
Right.
idea.
What you talking about,
Yeah.
boy?
He said, we have Canadian bacon and unsweet tea. And I was like, no, that's not going to work. But I tell you what they did have, and this is a true story. They had lobster at McDonald's.
Lobster.
What?
In Maine. In Maine.
Did you
Not
try
saying
it?
You want to eat it, but they had it.
No.
Did
I
you
wouldn't
try
have
it?
tried it. No.
No.
I would have
no,
tried it.
Mm-mm.
I would
No.
have tried. I would have said, give me your lobster.
No, it's like we make fun of my husband because he can eat anything. Anything. His stomach is cast iron.
That's mine.
But his guts are not. So we say your stomach is hefty, 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 and your guts are wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. And that McDonald's sounds
Guts being
like,
your booty.
it scares me a little bit.
Get that boy a snow cone. Bless his heart.
Yep.
We tend to fry everything down here, too. Lots of salt. We tend to fry everything.
Yeah.
A lot of fish fries around here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do a lot of fish fries.
Thing.
Yeah.
The only thing I fry is fish. I fry nothing else.
I'm not big on fried.
Fried chicken?
I'll admit.
Fried
Nah.
chicken, don't
Mm-mm.
I
We don't fry a lot.
I like Kentucky fried chicken.
My mom makes the best fried chicken.
I'll have to
Want to
try
hear
your mom's.
something crazy?
What?
Yeah.
I'm allergic to chicken.
What?
I remember talking to you about this. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, so in September, I had to go get new allergy testing done, and I'm allergic to all dairy, all anything to do with flour and chicken.
Yeah.
And I just did those 25 meat birds at the farm. So we have 25 chicken meat birds in the freezer, and I can't even eat them. You believe that?
Is this a new allergy that you had?
Just developed it, huh?
Yeah.
So do you
Wow.
like break out?
No, I just die.
You just
I
die.
have
Anaphylactic shock, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Gosh.
That is. But you've been able to eat chicken in the past.
Yeah, but this whole, like, Amy and I were talking earlier this year, I've had all kinds of issues, and they couldn't figure out what it was, and apparently it's been chicken and dairy.
That happened with me and eggs. I was fine with eggs my whole entire life, and I turned 35, and
They say your body changes every 7 years.
I've got an EpiPen
true.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 4 of them.
Yeah. Oh, they're all
I
over.
need 4 because I'm always hours away from the closest hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if I ever develop an allergy to bacon,
It'll
done.
be a sad day.
I'm done.
Oh, God.
Did you hear about the red meat allergy that they're linking it to chiggers now?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, instead of ticks?
They're saying that you can still get it from ticks, but most people are getting it from chiggers.
Huh.
Oh, because those things tear me to pieces.
That's why you go get the Sawyer's.
Is there a shot you can get?
What are you talking about?
Because I don't ever want to be allergic to red meat.
Do you not have chiggers?
You know what chigger is?
Oh.
Okay, it's a red bug.
Too cold.
It's a red bug. And Amanda, it tears you up.
What do you mean?
It's like a mosquito bite on crack.
Yeah, I've had 70 bites on me before.
So a chigger.
You know, what does it look like?
It looks like a little red mite.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is evil. Amanda, it's evil.
The worst we have are ticks, and I don't go hunting anywhere where they have ticks.
It's a mite. It's a trombiculud mite. Mm-hmm. They're found throughout the world in Europe and North America. They tend to be more prevalent in the hot and humid regions.
Hello, Tennessee.
Yeah. In the more temperate regions, they are found only during the summer. Mm-hmm. In the United States, they are found mostly in the southeast, south, and Midwest. They are not present or barely found in far northern areas.
They itch for longer than a mosquito bite itches.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of them, too.
Yeah. If you get one bite, you know that you got more. And they don't show up for a little while either.
Right.
Wow.
And they're the equivalent of getting into a nest of seed ticks.
Yes.
I don't know what those are.
They're baby ticks. Just baby ticks. If you run into, I had them all over me about a year and a half ago. I went through a nest of them, and thousands of them were crawling all over me of seed ticks.
I've got to tell you, I've never even seen a tick in real life yet.
You might be afraid to come to Tennessee.
Yeah.
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 I just pulled like 4 of them off of me the other day.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story regarding ticks. Last year, we'd set up a ground blind to turkey hunt, and it blew over. So we went out to hunt, me and my son, and I set the ground blind back up. And when I did, it was raining ticks.
Mm-mm. No.
I guess the heat. I'm not a tick expert, don't pretend to be, but they were drawn to it. They crawled in there, and they were just dropping like flies. Ran out of that thing.
Mm-mm.
I set it on fire, but it was an expensive ground blind.
I still, every year...
You could fog it.
Every year I spray my blinds down with Sawyer's permethrin.
Yeah, you have to.
Every year.
Yeah.
And we have, gosh, I mean, if you have a...
So if your appetites weren't ruined now... They're on our recipe show.
Something else we have to do.
They're evil.
So let me ask each one of you, as we're releasing this, it's going to be New Year's Eve, New Year's. All our lead heads probably won't listen to this till after, but what are your plans for New Year's Eve? And what are you taking to your get-together or whatever you call it?
We're in lockdown, so we don't have anything.
Lockdown.
Yeah.
We live in the country. We're nowhere near anybody. And everyone's in lockdown. The whole province is in lockdown.
So what do they do if you leave your house?
They charge you $15,000.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, $15,000 if you're caught at someone else's house that is not your residence. Lockdown started on Boxing Day, and I can't go next door, which is way down the road. Nobody can be caught here. If there's a car that's not supposed to be in your driveway and the OPP are going around, the provincial police, they see something that is questionable, they will stop and charge the household owner
How is anybody abiding by that? How is there not an uprising, burning of buildings, riots? How is there not any of that going on in Canada? You guys are just, okay.
But, I mean, we're still going out hunting and doing those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But
so
at the same time, New Year's Eve for me, like, I mean, I'd rather be out hunting and get up the next day and go hunting. So I don't do anything on New Year's Eve. I'm usually in bed around 9.
We do with the kids. I think we've got neighbors coming over that will do board games and watch TV, like a movie or something like that.
But you're gonna have food and treats and snacks. What are you gonna make?
We're gonna do some poppers.
Okay.
Some venison poppers. We might use the last of our goose from last year. We're about to go out on another goose hunt, so we can use the last of the goose and make some poppers and that queso with the venison and some sausage in there. So it'll be good. I might make that meatloaf too. It'll be good with the bacon.
I'm just gonna come to your house.
Come on.
There's no lockdown here, so come on. Can you get across the border?
Now we are
across the border. I just don't know if I can get back.
The governor did mandate a 10-person. Do you remember that?
Mandate. No, I don't. I don't listen to any of that because I'm not going to abide by it, and they're not going to enforce it. They can't. It's unconstitutional. They can't do it.
Yeah. We're still getting together.
It's not going to happen.
We're whole other show.
I look at it more of a suggestion than anything else.
It is. I mean, shoot, our governor, he was in quarantine. Do you remember this? He was in quarantine and he went out bow hunting.
Well, you look at California's governor, you look at New York, you look at they all don't do what I say, or do what I say, don't do what I do.
Right.
They're all breaking their own curfews. So yeah.
It'll be interesting. We haven't really, since we've had kids. I think my husband's going hunting New Year's Eve, so I'll hang with the kids and during the day, and then we'll just hang out with our neighbors for the evening, throw off some fireworks, and.
Cool. Thanks for the invitation. Hey, Jonathan, what are you going to be doing?
Well, we're supposed to get rain, so we planned on kind of doing a fire out back and, hanging out with some neighbors, their kids.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll have to see. But food-wise, I don't know. I like to just boil some shrimp, make my own shrimp cocktail, a little ketchup, a little horseradish, and do some finger food stuff. That's probably about it.
It is supposed to rain. I just looked at that.
Yeah.
We're getting snow, and I'm going hunting tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm taking a girl out that's never been hunting before. I took her out on Sunday, and I'm taking her out again tomorrow afternoon, and we probably won't be out of the bush until about 6:30. Hopefully she harvests the deer, and then we'll even be later, and then there you go. And it's
that'd be perfect.
That's a great way to celebrate the new year in. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm filming it, and then it's all about getting on the snowmobiles and going for a ride.
Snowmobile.
We get rain and 70 degrees, and Amanda's up there with snow and winter.
Kicking it, but they're...
Did you not see my snowmobile clip from the other day?
But they're quarantined.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how much snow we have.
We're still golfing down here.
Right?
Oh.
It's like 70 today or something. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's minus.
But it was 15 the other day.
Yeah. It's Tennessee.
Yeah. If you don't like the weather today, just wait an hour.
Yep.
Everybody says that about every.
Is that the common? It's actually literal here.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So tomorrow is going to be -9 Celsius.
Holy crap.
And with a high of -4 and 40% chance of snow. So it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
If you've ever gone hunting for moose, deer, or elk in the snow, it's the best thing ever.
Yes. It is good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I plan on going New Year's Day if I'm recouped enough. Maybe it'll be New Year's afternoon.
Sleep in that morning.
Yeah. Me and Drew, Andrew.
Yeah.
Me and Andrew plan on going either then or maybe the next day. Morgan actually, I've got a farm not too far from here, and we've been hunting it this season. Morgan got a buck the other day.
Nice.
So I can imagine that our New Year's party is going to involve something to do with that meat. I don't know what she's got planned yet. I haven't harvested anything yet this year. Not that I haven't had the opportunity, because there are deer all over the place out there, but I don't want to shoot a doe right now. I don't want to shoot a spike. I'm waiting for that, that nice buck.
That buck.
And they're out there because we got the cameras and
You've seen them.
I know they're out there. So
I've had a 10.
When does your season close?
January, February.
No.
Is it February? Early February?
No.
Wow, that's like the longest season ever.
When is it?
It's for private land. Well, for public land, it's January 3rd. For private land, I think it's the 7th.
January 7th?
Yeah.
Ours closes tomorrow.
And you can only shoot does.
And that's deer.
When?
But
Starting when?
season,
That day?
The 4th. The
Okay.
4th through the
Yeah.
7th
Well,
is only does.
I'll wait till the last minute, and I'll
and
pop
you'll
a
get
doe.
it.
I'll pop a doe, but I'm not gonna waste it. So
Our deer season closes December 31st.
Mm.
But everything else is already closed except for wolf and coyotes. Rabbits
Wow.
just open. So moose has been closed since December 15th.
Yeah.
Elk's been closed since then.
our
What-
small game will go until February 28th.
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The small game. Yeah.
Yeah.
February 28th.
We're going to be hunting squirrels after deer season's over. I've never gotten a squirrel before.
Oh my gosh! Come to my farm. They're all over.
Oh
the
my
damn
God.
place. Actually, my backyard.
Let's hear that squirrel recipe.
I'm going to be making some squirrel dumplings if
I'm
that
not
happens.
eating squirrel. I ain't gonna do it. I refuse
No.
to eat squirrel. You can forget
You know
it.
what, guys? It's like 5 o'clock
Right.
my time, and my husband's probably really hungry.
Talking about all this food.
And I know I'm
So we're
starving.
wrapping it up. I'm trying to wrap it up here.
Yeah, my natives are getting restless. I should probably bounce here in a minute. There's a lot of screaming coming from the back bedroom.
We
I
can't
gotta
hear it.
say, I'm
That's
really happy
amazing.
that you
Yeah.
two are getting along so well. I'm so glad I introduced you to each other. That you didn't. I can't believe you didn't even know each other. Now look at this.
I
love it.
know. Amanda, thank you.
Aren't you the friend maker? Look at you.
We
You're a
just
friend maker.
we just need you to come down.
Right?
I'm coming. I'm
Get
And
Jonathan.
we need to come up.
Get
Yes.
Jonathan. Hell yeah. We'll have a good time.
I'll be there.
Heck yeah. So there you go, lead heads. Hope that helped maybe make your holidays a little more enjoyable, festive. We didn't even talk about what I'm taking to the party. I'm taking champagne.
I already knew that though.
I'm bringing champagne and White Claws, baby.
Yeah.
They don't trust me with the cooking, but I do make a mean bean dip, so I can't go wrong with that. So if you have questions about these recipes, if you heard something that Amanda said that she makes and she can do well, shoot her an email. Is that good?
Sure.
What's your email address?
Hunt at AmandaLynnMayhew.com.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, your Instagram
Amanda Lynn Mayhew.
and Facebook.
Amanda Lynn.
There you go.
And if all else fails, go to www.justhunt.ca
Yes.
There you go. And
and
Amy?
find Amanda Lynn Mayhew.
I'm only on Instagram and email. You can find me on Her Wild Outdoors or Amy Hall Hunter on Instagram, and then you can email me at herwildoutdoors@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Jonathan? Deerliverance.
Deerliverance on the gram.
That's
Hit
awesome.
me up.
Spell it.
I gotta find that right now.
I know, I gotta find it too.
Deerliverance.
DEER LIVERANCE.
There you go.
Not like the movie.
Deerliverance.
And I'm following him, so you'll know you find the right one. You look and see if I'm following him. That's the right drill. I don't think there's probably anything even close to that. But
I
got
found
it.
you. Found you.
there you go.
I got it.
I love it.
All right, yeah, give me a follow and I'll return it.
Yeah.
So, Leadheads, again, thank you so much for a great 2020, and we're looking forward to an even better 2021. We've got the AK Corner coming up, so don't forget about that. And then in February with 212 Training Group at Nashville Armory, we're doing an AK Concepts training course. That's February 20th and 21st, Nashville Armory. You can go to 212 Training Group's website and sign up for that. There's still some slots available, but we anticipate that's going to fill up pretty quick. But it's going to be a good time. We'll have Jared with Two Tail Training Group. I'll be there. Brian with Occam Defense Solutions is going to be there. He's going to do some armors courses, AK courses for you guys too, give you some tips and tricks. And then as always, we're always giving away stuff, so we'll have some giveaways and fun stuff going on there at the Nashville Armory February 20 through the 21st. And then go and show all our sponsors some love. Kel-Tec, Fiocchi Ammo, Modern Spartan Systems, blah, blah. Who's all my sponsors? 1776 United, Factory 47, Mission First Tactical. Working on a bourbon sponsor.
Yes.
Yeah, we may have that coming soon. And, of course, all our friends of the show that took part in our last giveaway with the Christmas Ain't Canceled giveaway. And you five winners, if you haven't contacted me yet, 2 of you have, 3 of you haven't, I'm going to give your prizes away if you don't contact me soon. So
I'll take them.
we're going to divide them up amongst ourselves here.
That's right.
Amongst this little group.
No.
But Amy, Amanda, Jonathan, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's get together. Let's try some of these recipes.
Yes.
In
looking forward to
person,
that.
though. I
In
can't
person.
share through the screen.
Yeah, we got to do it in person. And
Yeah.
if you lead heads have some recipes that you'd like to share, I didn't check and see. Let's see if anybody responded real quick and gave us.
Hey, meet you halfway, Amanda, in Illinois.
In Illinois.
Yes.
No, that's a bad place to meet.
I can come all the way to Tennessee. It's not that far of a drive. I just drove all the way to BC and back by myself. So going to Tennessee is nothing. That's a one-day trip for me.
You got a place to stay, so come on.
What part of Canada are you in?
I'm in Southern Ontario. Takes me 28 hours to get out of Ontario heading west to Manitoba. Isn't that nuts?
It's kind of like Texas, right? A lot of
it's way
people,
more.
it's much bigger than Texas, but it's kind of like Texas. A lot of people are like, oh, it's Texas, go from one side to the other. That's not, you don't just do that. That's, it's a whole day trip. And yeah.
So on Facebook, Julian McQuill Brayton, he says nachos. Or is that a girl?
It's a girl.
She says nachos, venison, elk, boar, beaver, gator, whatever she likes.
Beaver?
Beaver.
Huh.
Is she Canadian?
She may be.
She might be Canadian.
Cooper City.
Canadian if.
I don't know where Cooper City, but
There.
Julianne, thank you for your, and we said nachos earlier.
We did. You can
I love
throw
nachos.
anything on nachos.
And then Keith McGee, H. McGee, deer steaks marinated in jack and
Yes.
smoky Memphis barbecue sauce on the grill. Anything on the grill is really good. So, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Leadheads. We got more coming, so it's going to be a great 2021. But until then, till the next episode, as always, keep your loved ones close.
And your firearms closer.
And your firearms closer.
Firearms.
And have a safe new year with your wild game recipes.
Keep your kids outdoors and keep them active.
Keep your loved ones close and just hunt.
Yes.
All right, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Amanda, I love you.
I love you.
Big hugs.
Great show, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, my goodness.
The wolf is going to be on her head, around her neck.
No, that's what I'm doing.
At all.
Hey, man. No teasing.
Bye.
Bye.